Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar. We're very happy to have you join us again today for this second one. So we'll wait just for a few seconds for anybody else to keep joining. I see that people are still coming in. All right, so let's go. So welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon. Today we'll be talking in this webinar about how to optimize supplier management and why to do it, and how you can do it with the Supplier 360 and analytics. So today's webinar is sorry, I just have. Okay, so today's webinar is the second one in a series of 3. So in April, we discussed about the future of operations, how we were speeding up the efficiency, how we were improving efficiency for procurement teams with AI and real-time dashboards. Today, we'll be talking about why and how we optimize supplier management, how we can do it with Supplier 360 and analytics. And in September, we'll do the last one. I mean, we will have further one, but in this series, that will be the last one. And we will be talking about how we build an efficient supplier portal and how we work with partners and a good UX to improve that. So today, if that's your second time, you're already used to that, but today we'll be using the Q&A functionality. So if you have any question during the presentation, you have on the left-hand side a Q&A section, so you can drop your question. And at the end of the webinar, we will go through them, we will answer them, and if we don't have time, we will keep your questions and we will come back via email to you. We'll also use the poll functionality. So we'll be asking you a quick question to understand why you are using supplier management in your companies. And at the end of this webinar, you will receive an email with the recording of the webinar. So if you want to watch it again, to share it with your colleagues, you are very welcome. So for the next webinars, just for your information, if you cannot attend, you can still register. You will receive the recording too. So about the presenters ourselves, we are presenting Philip and myself. So I'm Anaïs Perez, Head of Product Management here at Synertrade. I have been with the company for something like 7 years now. And so now we are really focusing on transforming the product to get the best ease of use for the business, the procurement teams, the suppliers, and getting procurement teams ahead. And I'll let Philip introduce himself.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm very glad to see you today for this second webinar. So I'm Philippe Rabalan, the head of pre-sales of Synertrade, and I've been working for this company since almost 10 years now.
Thank you, Philippe. So today's agenda, we'll see the objectives of the supplier relationship, so why we manage them, what are the current state of a procurement department in managing them, and what are the challenges that are faced, how we can create efficiency with supplier relationships, and then we'll go into the demonstration. So Philip will present how Synertrade is helping companies to create those efficiencies. We'll finish with the key takeaways, so how we did that during the session, and then with the Q&A, so the questions you dropped during the session, we will review them at that time. So a bit about Synertrade. If you don't know us, we are a procurement technology vendor. We've been on the market for now 25 years. We are represented in 10 offices worldwide with over 200 employees. And we have around 250 active customers represented by more than 400,000 users and 4 million suppliers. So about the product, we have a source-to-pay platform. So we cover from the supplier relationship management, so that's onboarding, collaboration, the performance, the risk, the improvements of the suppliers, source to contract, so anything which is RFX, contract management, product management, planning for the procurement of initiatives. And we have the procure to pay part, which is more the operational day-to-day, where I will need to manage my catalogs, create purchase requests to serve the business, send them to the supplier, and then receive the goods and create my invoices. So we've been recognized by major analysts over the years, such as Gartner, Spelt Matters, Ardent, or the Hackett Group. And we're very happy to present you for the second session that new Synertrade 5 version that we are now launching. So let's get into the topic. So why manage supplier relationships? So we overall see three main objectives when we're talking about why we manage suppliers. The first one being the main KPIs of the procurement department, so improving cost, quality, and time to market. So depending a lot on the supplier segmentation, the categories that you manage, the focus on either of these KPIs is going to be very different, but in any case, you will impact a lot of your departments in the company, such as finance. In any case, when you manage the cost, you will impact the finance department. You can impact the production department with the quality, the time, the timing that you get from the suppliers. You can impact the customer satisfaction, so that means the sales. So you really have a lot of power there, where you can impact the rest of the companies, and where you can really deliver hard KPIs that will generate a lot of improvements for other departments too. Then we're looking at disruption. So if you maintain a healthy relationship with your suppliers, you know well your suppliers, you are better equipped to face these challenges, whether they are economical, natural, political. You are better prepared to face with your partners these situations, and to find a good way to respond to those situations. So this is the second one that we see very much overall now that we have a lot of situations such as COVID, inflation, tariffs. We have many situations where we need to adapt and adapt. So this is the new normal, and this is really essential to keep your suppliers close to you when you face these situations. And then when you really want to have a big impact on the company, you can also use supplier management to drive innovation and build competitive advantage. So in that sense, you are very much close, the procurement departments, to the sales, in that you need to build that value proposition to your suppliers, and to show that you can get to a competitive advantage. You can get to that differentiation by working with that suppliers, whether you're working on differentiating yourself on sustainability, differentiating yourself on how you build products with the supplier, how you minimize the cost. So this is really where companies can get to the next level. So a quick poll that we're launching now. We would like to understand, when you think of supplier relationship management, what is the main business outcome that you're looking for? Is it cost reduction and efficiency? Are you looking to improve overall product quality? Or are you looking to mitigate the risks at the moment? Or you're now looking, you're already at the next step, and you're already looking at how we can innovate and how we can get more competitive with our supplier relationships. So we'll launch the poll now. And I'll ask you, Philippe, I don't know if we already have any results.
We have already some answers, but highlight the attendees answering again. A few seconds.
Yeah.
There is a tie for the moment.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. That will also show us a bit the maturity of where we are at the moment with the supplier management.
All right. So would you like to stop it?
Yeah. Let's share the results.
All right. So the main I mean, the answer received the most answers is the risk mitigation and supply chain resilience. Just ahead, cost reduction and efficiency and improved product and service quality. So the main one is the risk mitigation.
Risk. All right. So we really see a shift in how procurement departments are working, because in the past it used to be very much towards cost and efficiency, and yeah, we see that how the situation worldwide is really affecting how we are working with our suppliers and how we're addressing these relationships. So what's the state when you need to address a supplier relationship? So you know that suppliers, you can work with them over the years. You can really have a relationship which changes with time. You also have several people who are facing the supplier. So having the data to approach any supplier relationship, having the facts, the insights into that supplier is really essential to start managing supplier relationship. So according to a study from the Harvard Business Review, it's from 2021, but it showed there that only less than 1/4 of companies were actually analyzing the majority of their supplier data. So you have a broad opportunity for procurement departments to really differentiate themselves in how to manage those main KPIs with supplier management, how to prevent disruptions, and how to create innovation, because there is still a lot of companies who do not manage that at the moment. So there is that opportunity to get to that competitive advantage. So the challenge is that you get from not having the data is that you cannot respond very quickly to a disruption. So you don't get to that second objective of mitigating the risk, which is the first one that you voted for today. Much harder to get the best prices, so to negotiate with your supplier when you don't know them. And then again, comparing suppliers, so understanding which one I could partner with, which one will get me to those KPIs, to that level of customer satisfaction, production, etc. This is very hard for the companies when they don't have the data to start with. So in addition to that, the Hackett Group also showed that in a study that when you have a supplier relationship management, you can even have additional cost savings that amount up to 3.2%. So it's quite a big percentage when you take that from your when you make that percentage on your spend. So this is not non-negligible. So this is another benefit that you get from that kind of program. And now I'll stop with the chit chat, and I will pass over to Philippe to show us how we can do it.
Thank you, Anaïs. So let me share the screen. Here it is. Right. So now you can see my screen. So if you participated to the first webinar, I mean, you already have the explanation of all the widgets on that page. So I invite you to watch again to replay the first webinar in order to get all the explanation. So today, the topic is the supplier relationship management, and especially what we brought as new features on the tool. So let's go directly through the first page that we call the Suppliers Hub. So in this page, what we wanted to have is a page in between the suppliers list to provide relevant and precise information to the users. So before seeing the full list of suppliers, I would like to see what's going on for my suppliers. So several widgets here. So the first one is the shortcuts dedicated to the SRM process, of course. So if I want to register a supplier, to invite a new supplier, to start an action plan or an evaluation, I can do it straightforward by a single click. On the right-hand side, you have your ongoing events. So if you have an action plan ongoing, an evaluation, a qualification, everything will be listed here and waiting for you for your actions, of course. So here you have the percentage of progress and the number of days that left. So I have to hurry up on this one because only 1 day left for this action plan. Then at the bottom, what we wanted to have is to focus on the risk management. So on this platform, I'm responsible of a certain number of suppliers, and I can see that 6 of them are considered as risky. So once again, we can manage up to 10 risk indicators on the platform, and according to your processes, we can put some thresholds to say, okay, at that level, the supplier is considered as risky. So in that case, if I click on the 6, I will see the list of the suppliers, the risky suppliers, and I can take the relevant actions or to create an assessment, an action plan to correct the situation or renegotiate the contract or whatever action you want to perform. Then the last one, we wanted to make the link between the performance of your suppliers, so the global performance according to your KPIs. The most classic one, quality, cost, delivery, could be innovation, financial, etc., etc. And then the link with the risk. So the risk level associated to that supplier. So here, obviously, on that graph, sorry, I see all of my suppliers who have been evaluated and then assessed from a risk point of view. So each point represents a supplier, and if I click on this one, for example, I access to a brand new page that I'm glad to present to you today, is what we call the Supplier 360. Okay, so in this page, I can see all the activity linked to my supplier in only one page. So it's not necessary anymore to go through the modules, the contracts, the RFX, the POs. Everything is listed here, all the main information. So in case of business review with that company, I mean, this page is quite useful for me. I don't have to navigate through all the pages. So on the left-hand side, basic information. So regional tax code for this supplier, the DUNS number, the responsible of that supplier. Then on the right-hand side, the risk score. So for each score that you manage on the platform, you will have if the information if this company is if is low risk, medium risk, high risk. So in any type of risk that you want to follow up on this platform. Okay. And of course, if I click on it, I will access the information linked to that risk management. Then you have the history of our collaboration. So I work with that supplier since 6 years now. So we performed a lot of RFX contracts and POs with him. So I have the global amount of awarded RFX, the global amount contractualized with that supplier, and the global amount of PO with that company too. Okay, and once again, we wanted to smooth the navigation on the platform. So in only one single click, I will access the list of all the awarded RFX for that supplier without navigating through the RFX module and then filter on that supplier. So everything is reachable right away in only one single click. Then Just below, I have the contract information. So here, classic, I have 8 contracts with that supplier with all the basic information displayed here. So the contract consumption, the rate of consumption, and if I click on the contract, of course, I will be redirected toward that contract. Then just below, I have the supplier performance through the time. Okay, so this one is quite messy, let's say. So sometimes it's good, sometimes no. So let's take the example from the beginning of this year to check the performance evaluation of that supplier. So if I want, of course, I can filter on 1 or 2 specific KPIs just to highlight this one. Okay, it's up to you what you want to analyze and what information you want to get from that report. And below, of course, the action pending on supplier side. So that's important as well for you to know what's going on his side. So here in that example, that supplier has to sign 2 contracts, okay? One for a US license and one for another contract created in June. So this page is quite useful for me as a category manager, as a buyer, or as a procurement responsible, because in only one page, I have all the relevant information regarding that supplier, all the activity and all the history. Okay. So now let's go to the new dashboard that we introduced in the V5. So the first one is about the risk dashboard, okay? Because that's fine to track the risk through all the process in Synertrade, to track it in the supplier's profile, but then we wanted to have all those information gathered in only one report. So here we've made the link between the spend at risk versus the number of suppliers considered as risky. Okay. So here I have 5 suppliers, risky suppliers, and below I have the graph, the credits matrix to represent that risk level versus the spend. And then if I want to filter, for example, on the cybersecurity risk, which is quite important in nowadays. So here I know that I have one supplier risky from a cybersecurity point of view, and the spend at risk is more than 1 million. So it's quite a huge amount for that one single supplier. And here I have the list of all the suppliers risky from a cybersecurity point of view, but especially I have to pay attention to that supplier because the other one, okay, have been evaluated from a cybersecurity point of view, but this one is really, really dangerous. I mean, dangerous for me from a spend point of view. So I should take corrective action with him, either contract renegotiation, create a new RFX, or if I want to create an action plan to make things better in the future by collaborating with my supplier. So that's the first dashboard, to gather all those information and make the link with the spend, because everything is about finance. So it's cool to calculate the risk, but then what's the link between the risk and the spend? So we have introduced that report for that. Then we introduced as well a new standard spend analytics report. So this one is a basic standard dashboard for the prospect or customers would like to have a spend analytic directly embedded in Synertrade. And on that purpose, we introduced and we created that report, spend one, that allows you to track the spend all over the years, to track the spend by suppliers, by category, by geographical zone as well, just to get the most relevant information from a spend analytic point of view. And that's it for me, Anaïs. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Philippe. So I'll share again with you, and we'll go to the key takeaways of the session now. Okay, so we saw that with the supplier management, you can really track the supplier activities operationally. So on an everyday basis, if you want to have data which are updated, if you want to gather data and analyze them on a day-to-day basis, you need to make sure that you are tracking what's happening. So anything that the buyers are responsible of, they can track very easily in just a few seconds what's to prioritize in terms of follow-up. And they can better prioritize also which suppliers we should work with. So in terms of performance, to improve, in terms of risk, to mitigate. So this is really helping on a day-to-day basis. Then you can also deep dive into your suppliers. So once you have identified what should I be working on and what should I be tracking now, it's going into the supplier and saying, okay, so how do I approach this improvement? How do I approach this initiative that I have? And when you look at the whole relationship you had with the supplier, how long have you been working with the supplier for? How much is it worth for the supplier to do any activity with you? So, is it are you also an interesting customer to your supplier? You really feel more confident into approaching, starting a discussion with that supplier and having some initiatives together. So you really have a complete view of the relationship, of the raise, the performance. You don't only understand what you have been doing personally with that supplier, but you see how the company has been interacting with him. So then you can also take a step back and really look at your whole supply base. So understanding for CPOs, for procurement directors, you can really look at the whole supplier base, and you can also reassign high level which suppliers the company wants to focus on. So depending again, on the category strategicity that you have. Depending on the risk that you are exposed to. So this is really a very high level, a more broader perspective. And you can prioritize for your team, so you can really organize that to have a more long-term initiative. So at the end, it's again a win-win-win, because it's much easier for the procurement department. It's much better also for the supplier who sees that you understand what has been done between the two companies. So you have a better approach with them, and the impact that you have, it's what we were seeing at the beginning. You really have an impact when you manage these supplier relationships on the cost, the quality, the time delivery. So the innovation, the risk prevention. So you are really impacting the rest of the company. So the business side is really impacted by all these actions that you take strategically. And this is really how you position the procurement department as a strategic one. So now we will go into the Q&A. So Philip, if you want to check if we have any question. And in the meantime, I will also leave you the QR code. So we will have on the 17th of September 2 sessions. So one in the morning, one in the afternoon, as we used to do. So if you want to take your phone and register for the next one, and now we'll go to the questions.
Yeah, so the first one is about the Supplier 360. The question is that, can we also see the risk hub information? So the risk level associated to the supplier directly in the Supplier 360.
Yeah, so we can see all the risk indicators, and it's more, you can also delve into why this risk is high, or why is the supplier performing better in this area than this other one. So this is where you really start with the high perspective. You say, these are the suppliers at risk. This is what I assign to my buyers. Then each buyer is managing its pool of suppliers. Again, within my pool of suppliers, I can see which ones I should prioritize. You check the suppliers, so you see which risks you should be tackling now. And you can go and see the detail of why do I have a low score in there, and what is exactly making the supplier risky for me. And then you can go to the next step and say, okay, this is the actions that we might need to take with that supplier. So you really need to go from the very high level to the detail very easily.
The next one is about the availability of such features.
All right, so this is going to be available in the version that will go out at the end of July. So what we presented in the first webinar and what we presented today is all going to be available at the end of July in the version 5.
Okay, the next one is, how do I internally sell this?
So this is going back. This is going back to the main objectives that that you have. So try to discover what's the objectives of the other internal departments, or what initiatives you would like to push, and how you can really show the impact on them. So if we're talking about preventing disruptions, what would happen if one of your strategic suppliers was having a problem of production, was having a natural disaster? What would happen? What would be the impact on your company? So when you go backwards like this, you can start seeing how that can impact the rest of the company. So you need to build really that case where you show how this impacts finance, how this impacts production, how this goes into the customer satisfaction, the sales. So you have an impact also on the bottom line of the company, not only via costs, but the procurement can really impact also the top line if risk is not mitigated. So this is where you can really look at how you can position that with your company. Of course, if you are a customer, we invite you to also talk with us, and we can help you build that case also. So we are just 1 minute over, so I think that we can stop for today. Thank you very much for attending. We're looking forward to see you in the next webinar, and you will receive the recording after the session. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
And don't worry, especially Chayone, we are going to answer your questions, of course. So yeah, you will get the answers later on. Thanks a lot, everybody, for your participation.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.